Hi and welcome to our International Bookmap Masterclass seminar, Profitable Trading with Limit Order Book and Bookmap. I'm very happy to be with you during this seminar and to demonstrate how markets really act and work based on the Limit Order Book and Bookmap. I will take you on the journey to explore and see the world of trading with complete other eyes. That's a promise. You'll learn at least 4 strategies that you can use successfully, or at least modify to meet your personal needs. Before we start, I have to mention some words about the copyright of the presentation and the video material. This presentation and as well as the video material is protected by international copyright laws. No part of this publication or video material may be reproduced, distributed or transmitted in any form or by any means, including photocopying, recording or other electronic or mechanical methods without the prior written permission of the publisher, except in the case of brief quotations embodied in critical reviews and certain other non-commercial uses permitted by copyright law. For permission requests, write to the publisher addressed Attention Permission Coordinator at the address below. General trading risk disclaimer and important information and disclosure. TTW Trader Live Seminar presentation is for educational purposes only. All trading ideas discussed by the instructor are for demonstration purposes only. Trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for every investor. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please read this disclaimer in detail. You can find it on ttwtrader.com/disclaimer. I would like to start with a video before I continue with my presentation. And let me drag this over there. This is the recording from last Friday. And before we continue in the presentation, I would like to ask you here the question. Let me extend this. I would like to ask you the question, or you should try to answer the question. Is this an area for buy? Excuse me, I will go a little bit back. The price will come down here to this area. Is this an area for buying, for selling, or to sit on your hands and doing nothing? And the more important question is why? So have a look at this area and answer the question buy, sell, or stay aside. And the most important part is why. Please give me a reason why you should act so. Please have a look around here. Again, price is coming towards this VWAP, but I don't believe the VWAP is important here.
Walter, this is George. I would say this is a sell because if you look at the volume at 1530 versus the volume up here close to those highs between 1617 and 1630, the buyers are running out of steam.
Okay, thank you. Bart wrote, in this situation, I'd hold off from a trade, no clear direction for me. Okay, let's go a little bit further here.
I would sit on my hands or buy here.
Okay. And why?
Because now I see a large buying orders.
Okay. Let's have a look here. It's only a few minutes. I think the speed is 1, so I didn't accelerate this one. This recordings here. I don't want to comment at the moment, but only let you watch what is happening here. Okay, great. So I would like to show you why this was a buy. And long before the buyers came really in and lifted the price to 31.10 and above. Maybe, I don't know whether you have, and we should talk about that this evening or tomorrow evening latest, because tomorrow we will go through the exercises in the later afternoon, and I would like to say that this is an absolutely important part of your trade, or should become an important part of your trading, because this is the limit order book. We will see why this is important. But more than that, it shows you exactly here in this traded column what is really happening and what is really traded here. At the motivation part, just to show you what we are doing or what we will do this week. This is a recording from last Friday. This is the ES future. And my question was, is this an area to buy or is this an area to sell? And I would like to point your, let me find it. I would like to point your attention to following event. Give me a second to find it. Do you see what is happening here? Do you see what is happening here? Look here. Look here. We will go very intensively through this part today, to this limit order book. And what you see here is 132 contracts are waiting to be bought, or there are 132 buyers sitting on 750 here. Okay? And you see what is happening. At 7.5 here, 3107.5, they sold 1013 contracts into 7.5. How can this be? And how can this happen? Because we see 132, but they sold 1000 contracts, more than 1000 contracts into the 750. Do you have an answer maybe to that, or speculation? It's absolutely open. There are no right or wrong answers, but let's discuss about this behavior. We will see in the following hours today what's behind that. Okay? What is this? We have 1000 sold into 750.
The passive buyers are absorbing the sellers, keep hitting the bid.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see, the point is, I don't want to go deeper into this because I I've developed a logic how to go through this whole stuff here. But you see what is happening here. They are hitting the bids, they are hitting the bids, they are hitting the bids. And the buyers added, refreshed, bought. That means if we see such numbers, such huge numbers on either the buy side here on the bid side or either ask side, it doesn't matter, then we know something is happening, something absolutely important is happening here. So my traded volume is refreshing here, but you see the buyers here. You see the buyers are adding. You see the positive numbers, 250, 260, 200, and so on here. You see that? They are adding. They are selling into the bidders, into the buyers here, but they are resisting. They are resisting on this level. So the answer, if you look at the numerical part of the limit order book, which is extremely important, therefore it's not teaching and trying, I'm fighting, because a lot of people ignore this knowledge, but it is so important that it will help you in more than one situation every day to understand really who is pressing and who is leading, who is not leading. We will talk about stacking and pulling on both sides, of course. And if you look again, what happened then? No, I think it was here. They lifted the price because this was a huge absorption here. I hope you are a little bit impressed by that, because by the end of the week, we will work the next days with limit order book and bookmap, the visualization part of the bookmap. And at the end of the week, you will see how these numbers can help you to decide or to see and to understand what is really happening in the market. It is really impressive, guys. It is really absolutely impressive to see that working. And my motivation for today, we will first start with the limit order book, and then continue with bookmap, so that we bring both worlds together. The goal of the seminar is to answer the questions: how do modern markets operate? Who is playing the game, like in this video here? What are their motivations? Sometimes we can answer, really, what are their motivations? How do they act and interact? We can see that on the in the limit order book as well in bookmap. How does all this affect liquidity and volatility? This was the question of George. How do I profit from this knowledge? What strategies are the best for myself? I will show you several strategies. So the strategies, there are several strategies. You can use them. You can adjust them to your own trading style. Good. This is the syllabus. That means we will start with the auction and the limit order book. Absolutely important to understand the basics of trading. Absolutely basic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, colleagues. Either you are trading with apples, with orange, with wine, with hogs, with whatever you want to trade. The auction and the limit order book are always the same. This is always everywhere on this planet where we are living on. The auction is the two-sided auction, goes always the same way. It doesn't matter if you trade futures or if you trade, let's say, apples or orange juice or whatever. Then we will have an intense look on the liquidity, absorption, exhaustion. We will talk about all the fine stuff in bookmap. We will talk about the sweep, the strategies. We come then to the strategies first to understand how sweep and exhaustion, absorption can be seen. And I see that's a mistake in the foil. Before we come to the strategies, we will talk about correlations. And one of the most important part is I can understand you, George, because I was in the same situation. You know, you want to trade, you see this huge opportunity to be independent, to earn money every day in this market, and to maybe to do it in 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, and then enjoy your day, staying on the beach, having a long drink, and so on. This is really a dream of most of us traders, but it takes time, and the first part is when one starts to trade, then he is only concentrated on his instrument. Let it be ES, Tom, it can be NQ, CL, whatever instrument you have. So you are looking only at this instrument, but there are not much people in the trading who understand that you should have a broader look on your instrument, because everything, I believe personally, you mustn't follow me, but everything is connected. That means we are not isolated, as well as the markets are not isolated. So if you are looking at the ES, I will show you in the preparation section of the strategies how we can predict is a little bit too optimistic, how we can be prepared for the day when we look at the correlated markets, because they indicate very clearly nearly every day where the market is heading to. So we can't see the oil, for example, Tom, you mentioned oil, without the dollar index. We can't look at ES without have the look at the technicals and the Q and the share market, Microsoft, Amazon, what else? Apple, for example. All this is an important part in this correlation section. Then we will come to the strategies. I will have some words on sharp delta, and we will see bookmaps, advanced analysis tools like CVD, large lot tracker, iceberg detector, volume imbalance. At the end of the day, in the end of the seminar, we should, every one of you, I would like to encourage and motivate you to have the same setup in bookmap like I have. So starting with a limit order book and the visual part of bookmap, so that you can connect both worlds together. So we have, we humans have two parts of brain, the left and the right brain. So I think the left brain is for the numerical part and the right brain is for the visual part. And during this seminar, during the next 5 days, we will bring this numerical part together with the visual part. And I hope so. Some of you will see more than before. You will see for sure more than before. This is the content of the documentation. I hope everyone has downloaded the documentation. It's an advanced documentation in 385 pages. Some of them are redundant. It doesn't matter, but there are still more than 300 pages of knowledge, of experience, of strategies, and so on. We will go through this week. We will start with the auction, limit order book, market mechanics, liquidity, market terminology, visualization, strategies, understanding liquidity, sweep, trades, and pullbacks, then correlations, then trading preparation, execution summary. I have put a new chapter based on the experience in the live education room, sharp delta, VWAP is an important part, and we will go through the advanced analysis tools. We will talk very briefly about the data feed, option expiration, trading advice. I don't know, I don't believe it's necessary to go through, but it's I left it in this documentation. Every file will be uploaded by me in the Dropbox, so you have the link. Please download also the feeds, the recordings. I will upload to the Dropbox. Please download it from Dropbox. If you have some issues to download, please let me know. Normally it should work. There are also, let me show you that. This is the content. So this is the presentation. The BMCS file is the file you will need, or the rhythmic one here, this one, is when you want to, if you want to, and I would highly recommend, I can help you. I can access your PC if you want. Let's do that after the session in the evening, or my time to say after the session. You should set up your bookmap with only one click. I will show you how this works. It is really easy. Download the BMCS file, right click on your bookmap workspace, load this file, and it will become the same, or will get the same visual display like I have, with the limit order book and the visual part of bookmap. So it's really easy, it's simple. Just right click, choose file, or select this file where you have stored it, and say OK, and you will get the same same display, same workspace, same limit order book like I have. Then if you want, I have put the cloud notes for your information, how to see how they are organized. There's a nice, it's a nice club. It's called Open Outcry. Open Outcry organization. It's not an organization. It's a club. It's for fun. So it's a funny. If you want to participate in the Open Outcry, which is a part of the auction, look at this material. Go to their sites. You will find out how auction really works. Then some displays, some videos here you can download, and I will put also the feed. The data feeds I'm recording today's session in ES, so that we can go through it tomorrow, starting from tomorrow, and you will find everything on Dropbox. Please go to ttwtrader.ecofin.co. We're using this room for internal discussions. We have an international room here. So we have German floor, and then international floor, and we have as well the signal room. I'm posting my preparation part here in the signal room as well, and showing something what is really interesting. If you want to know the access to the Zoom meeting or to the live education room, I will post it here in the signal room. One of the most important part is the data flash. So it is the fastest announcement service I know. So use it if you are using Ecofin or this room. It's for free for you. So it's really nice, and all the latest headlines will be announced here in the data flash. So I will close this everything. Video recordings will be available via Vimeo. Live education room is going to be like this one, Zoom with, and Skype for direct contact. If you have need to directly contact me, either use please Ecofin or use Skype to contact me. Okay. Let's start with the limit order book. Now we are coming to the Open Outcry, because we are not in a room together. We will play it virtually, so don't take it serious, but we will learn some important parts of a limit order book and how it works. From my point of view, as I said, it is imperative to understand the function of an order book or depth of market, also called depth of market dome, because it is the ground or base for everything what happens in every market. So let's start with the auction and the limit order book. Let's go very briefly about this chart here. We see the TT trader here on the left side from my side. Then we see the jigsaw trader, and we see also the bookmap. You know, in an auction, traders communicate their buying or selling desires to an auctioneer, who collects and records this information. This is extremely important to know. We will make an exercise, a very small and nice exercise here with an auction. I will be the auctioneer, and I said in an auction, you communicate your buying and selling to me as an auctioneer. Buyers are invited to post bids that state the maximum price at which they are willing to buy, while sellers are invited to post offers that state the minimum price at which they are willing to sell. When posting bids or offers, each trader enters into a firm commitment to trade if he wins the auction. So if you are placing a trade, you enter a firm commitment to trade. And that's an outlook to the liquidity part. In the language of modern financial markets, this commitment is called liquidity provision. We will talk about liquidity and how important liquidity is, but we have to make distinctions between different type of liquidities. Auctioneer, like me later, gathers these bids and offers into an order book. This order book describes the quantities that are available for purchase. This order book describes the quantities that are available for purchase or sale. Here, purchase here, sale here. At each specific price. The dilemma today, so far as I see that for all traders, we are not used to read a limit order book or a DOM, or even understand it, because most of us started trading with traditional charts and indicators. That's the reason why it is hard or even not possible to understand the principles of an order book. It's simply a journey, and it takes time, and really screening time to see what you should see. And when you see that, you will be amazed. You will be amazed how confident you will become. Really, believe it. It takes time. So also I would like to motivate you, be patient, take your time, use the screening time you need to understand what we talked about this week here, and use the time on your own when you are trading or when you are watching your markets. Take your time to understand how both worlds, the numerical world of the limit order book and the visual world of the bookmap, can be brought together to give you an excellent view of the market. You will understand it, and I'm sure you will follow a logic. Then. The disadvantage of all this is, at least for myself, is you have to be patient. You don't have to have a bias. That's the point here. And we can know everything, but we will remain human beings and humans, and sometimes we are simply wrong. Over time, markets have evolved away from appointing designated market makers. Today, most liquid markets, by that I mean including stocks, futures, and foreign exchanges, are electronic and adopt a so-called continuous time double action mechanism using a limit order book, in which a transaction occurs whenever a buyer and a seller agree on a price. I will show you that this is described also on cme.com very intensively. I will go through that during this week to show you how the CME describes this mechanism, the continuous time double auction mechanism. It's described extremely good on the CME side. Absolutely important to read, or at least important to know that there is something like a double auction mechanism and how it works. Limit order books require, and that's very obvious, neither a human auctioneer nor specially designed market maker to facilitate trade. Although we need liquidity to trade. Limit order books are updated in real time and are observable by all traders. Everyone who is interested in reading the limit order book has the access to and can do that. So everything is disclosed. Everything is exposed. Everything is exposed. So there's no, there's no secret. Limit order book is a standardized bookkeeping in trading. We can answer following questions. How much was traded? When was it traded? At which price was it traded? Was the price accepted by the traders? Which side wants to buy? Which side wants to sell? Are there aggressive buyers or sellers? We have the answers to thin liquidity or thick liquidity, which means there are illiquid markets, and there we are talking about liquid markets, as you will see. The limit order book, the structure is that we have a price here. We have a bid column. We have an ask column here. We have the traded volume here. This is the traded volume. And these numbers are refreshed every time when buyers or sellers come in, or the aggressors. These are the aggressors here, when they enter the market and trade with either the buyers on this side or the sellers on this side. We have also the snapshot. Look here. We're talking about snapshot or delta volume, pulling and stacking of limit orders. That's both columns here. This indicates pulling and stacking, and as you can see, I've pointed out it several times, but we will go in depth. We will talk about it. You'll see how they are pulling, how they are pressing the price up at this moment, this specific moment here, and how the sellers are pressing the price down, how they're selling everything into the into the market, how they are stacking to the asks on this side. We have also some statistical information, like we have some statistical information like VWAP, absolutely important. We will talk about that. The point of control, also viewable and should be there. It doesn't hurt to have it on the chart, because both indicators are calculated in real time. There's nothing lagging like volume. You will see how volume important is, and the point of control and the VWAP. This additional statistical information. We have the volume profile here on the SVB side. You will see that. So this defines an excellent and great limit order book. Once you have this on your chart, you begin, and your brain starts to combine the numerical world of the limit order book with the visual part and the visual world of bookmap. And you will see things when you combine both worlds that you have never seen before. Maybe you remember this fascinating movie Matrix 1, where, how's the name? Do you know the Matrix? Where Neo and the other guy, he showed him two pills, red and green, I can't remember, and he have to choose one pill. So you will get the right pill this week to see how both worlds are connected together. Okay, this is the structure of a limit order book, and we should have it on our charts every day to understand really what is going on. The other point we have to talk to is the data feed, because rubbish in, rubbish out. Maybe you know the saying. So if you works with our IT and industry, so that means you have to have absolute superior data for your chart or for your trading to get the results you want. So if the numbers are not okay of a data feed or of data feed provider, then you won't get anything unreasonable output on your chart. Now that's what we talked about, what I have shown you. This is the former Jigsaw platform, and I'm using that because it is extremely well organized. Absolutely well organized. So I haven't seen that before. When I started again with trading, I think it was 2010-11 or something like that, it was quite confusing to understand what this all about is here. What is numbers, what is this volume profile, and so on and so on. It is extremely hard for one who is starting with a limit order book to understand what are these numbers about. So if it should be the first time you get in contact with this limit order book, if this is your first time, take your time. You will see the logic behind very, very early. So be patient and understand, try to understand what's going on. Again, very, very briefly, is if you compare both platforms, Jigsaw and bookmap, it's absolutely organized, equally organized, let me say. You have the price here, you have the depth of bid and depth of ask here. It's absolutely the same. And even if you have the same data feed, I've tested it with Rhythmic, even if you have the same data feed, the numbers are absolutely equal. You have the best bid and the best offer, like here. Traded volume, we will talk about aggressors in this column here. These are the aggressors. The only what we can't predict, I would like to say that in this way, is that we can't predict when the aggressors are coming in. But we see when the aggressors are hitting the bids, for example, and they can't break the price down, like in the first example we had today. So the snapshot column is one of the most underestimated columns. There are only few people, and by the way, in every seminar I'm showing that, is there are only few people who really understand and see why these columns, the snapshot columns here, or delta columns, are really helpful when it comes to trading, in the real trading. You will see that, use them, because it's really helpful to have them on the chart, in the limit order book. Most of the people ignore that, but I would recommend use it. It's a simple mechanism. It's only adding and subtracting. But because these numbers here changes so fast, they are bought and then again stacking again. Also here. So they are refreshed so fast, it's impossible for us, for our eyes, to follow these numbers here and to see really what is happening. This gives an idea. This gives us an idea what is really happening at those levels here. You can use 5 levels, 1 level, 10 levels. I'm using simply 5 levels. That's my preference. That's my definition here in bookmap. You can change this. We will see that how to change that. Play a game today. Now to see what's really happening in the auction. I don't know how it will work out, but anyway, let's try it. It's simply fun let's do a little bit action here based on the auction. In the live seminar, we have for every participant $2,000. That means it's how to say, play money, and everyone gets $2,000, and he has to buy or to sell in this game. I'm the auctioneer, I'm the market maker, so we will do a very simple auction, nothing special behind, but it might help us a little bit better to understand what a limit order book is, what an auction is. It's a little bit more complicated, so if you want to go deeper into this one, visit the Open Outcry Club. You will find the documentation on Dropbox, as said, so you can go a little bit deeper into the auction. It's absolutely fun, and from my point of view, not only fun, it expands your knowledge, tremendously, to a great extent. We will do the auction, understanding the organization of the limit order book, the limit order book terminology, understanding your role as a trader, understanding what moves the price, why is the price going up and why is the price going down. Let me define some rules, guys, and please be concentrating. We will do that only, let me say, 5-10 minutes, not more, and then go into the discussion. It's an open outcry. So I am the auctioneer and the market maker. I'm the supervisor here. We will not sell. We will not do short selling. So we will not do short selling. You will only trade market order. As said, no short selling at the beginning. Duration is, let me say, 10 minutes or so. We will see how this evolves and what happens. At the end of the auction, you have to be flat, and I must be paid. So anyway, if you are in profit or if you are not in profit, I must be paid, or at least I'm the broker and the auctioneer. I want to be paid for that. I would suggest, please note that you have $2,000, and we will start with the trading. Let's use the chat because I need time. To calculate and to update the limit order book. I will guide you, and if you have yes, this is the price. Look here, like in the limit order book. I will adjust the price in a moment because this is the last one I had here. This is the price, and you have $2,000 to trade. Yes, we are simulating the future market. The exchange is open and I'm the auctioneer. So what I'm doing now is, let's do it a little bit slower. So I'm the auctioneer and start to bid. So if I want to say, I want to buy 22, I want to buy 22 at 80, I want to buy 22 at 80, and then I'm starting to sell. I want to sell 15 at 90. I want to sell 15 at 90. I want to sell 15 at 90. Who is willing to buy 15 at 90? At 90? Who is willing to buy 15 at 90? Or this end is, who is willing to sell to me contracts for 80? I have 22 contracts to buy. I have 22 contracts to buy. So the first is just a moment, buy at 90. Buy at 90. That means, thank you, 5. If I buy 5 at 90, I've got 10 here. And we are currently, no. Just a moment. George. No, George. the matching engine, that's excellently, hold on a moment. So Angelic bought 5 at 90. There are remaining 10 at 90. They want to be bought. And the matching engine is doing following. Is anyone willing to buy 5 at 90? Is anyone willing to buy at 90? Is anyone willing to buy at 90? And if there's no response, there is no offer, then the matching engine is changing to the bid side. So who is willing to sell to sell at 80? Who is willing to sell at 80? I'm willing to buy 22 at 80. So George, 70 is not traded yet. You understand what I mean? Because you wanted to buy 5 at 70, but it wasn't traded. So you can put your what I can do is I can put your 5 to the 23. That means we have 28. We have 28 at 70 sitting. Yes, I would like to do the market orders because it's a little bit easier for this fun game here. Okay, the next I have the buy 5 and 90. That means I have to add 10 and subtract 5 here. Now I'm the auctioneer. I want to sell 5. I want to sell 5 at 90, want to sell 5 at 90. Who is willing to buy 5 at 90? Who is willing to buy 5 at 90? Okay. Then the matching engine is auctioning back. That means we are at 80. So I'm willing to buy 22. Or who is willing to sell anything to me? Who is willing to sell anything to? The problem here is, guys, that no one can sell at the moment because no one bought. So the only two guys who has been buying at the 90 was Angelic and Bart. Sorry, Bart, I missed you too. Okay, Bart bought 10. That means we have 15 on, and 5 has been bought here. That means this is the status at the moment. So please buy it until and then we can sell. So now we are trading we are trading at 190. Best bid, best offer. Best bid and best offer. Who is willing to buy 8? Thank you, Bart. So that means we traded 13. We have 0. We have to lift the price. And maybe you are noticing what is happening here on the bid side. So we are trading now 23 at 110. Who is willing to buy 23 at 110? Who is willing to buy 23? So Angelic is buying 5 at 110. And Tom is buying 23 at Tom. Now, one point we are learning here now is that the first one was Angelic and the second one was Tom. That means, like in live trading, we have a queue. We have a queue, and it depends on the position in this queue whether you will get a fill or whether you won't get a fill. Now, let's take this 23 from Tom. He bought everything, but what's happened here is that Tom gets only 80, and he gets 5 of this 32. That means 27. That means Tom was filled because no one wants to sell at this level. And Tom was filled, but he got an average price which is a little bit more worse than he wanted. Now, what we are doing now, who is willing to sell it for 110? I have 32 contracts are waiting to be filled. So who is willing to sell into 110? Who is willing to sell into 110? Who is willing to sell into 110? We are 32 buyers here. We are having 32 buyers. Is one willing to sell? Okay. I'm not yet. No, no, no change. No chance, but no. Sweep is an extremely nice indication. So I have to 27. Sorry, we are trading at 120. We are trading at 120, and I have 27 to sell it for 120. Let me see that. 5 sell 110. Okay, that was a 5. Excuse me. So we have still 27 on bid, and you got your contracts back, 5 contracts back. We count this, make the math, but yourself by yourself. You sold to 5 contracts at 110, and 5 and Tom again 5 at 110. That means we have reduced the queue here. There are only 22 buyers, and we have still 27 sellers at 120. So is buy 27 at 120. That means you get 32 even, and the price we are trading now, 130 and 120. Who is willing to buy 14 at 130? 130, 14 at 130. Who is willing to sell into the 120? There are 35 buyers waiting at 120. Who is willing to sell 120? To sell into the 120 bid? No one? No one? Last call. Is anyone willing to trade 130 or 120? No one? Now we are trading 120 to 110. Is one ready to buy 33 contracts at 120? I'm selling 32 contracts and 120. It's a little bit 32 at 120 and 18 at 110. 18 at 110. 10 at 120. That means 22 left. 22 left. Again, 32 at 120, 22. $12 left on at 120, 110, 18. I will buy 18 at 110, 18 at 110, 18 at 110. Sell 12 at 120, 12 at 120. We have still an offer of 12 to lift the price. We have sell 10, 110. Okay. Now the situation we have, I want to buy 8 at 110, 8 at 110, and 8 at 110, and let me place this one here. Oh, no, sorry, better. 8 at 110, and I'm selling 12 at 120, 12 at 120, 12 at 120, 12 at 120, no bid, nothing, then buy 12 at 120. That was the latest call. $34 at 130, 13, 34 and 13. We are trading at 130 with 34 to sell. These are contracts I want to sell. 34 at 130. Are you ready to buy 34 contracts at 130? Okay, bot is strong here. That means 120 at 100. So excuse me. So that's the new situation. We have 14 still ready, is sitting on 130, and I would like to buy 13 contracts for 120. 13 contracts for 120. Do you offer me 13 contracts for 120? 120, and is one willing to buy 14 and 130? No one? Last call. 14 and 130 and 13 and 120. Why I'm choosing these hard numbers? Okay, if no one is bidding here, if no one is bidding, then the auction machine, the auction algorithm is auctioning down. Is auctioning down. That means the price comes down. If no one is interested to trade this 130 level here, then the matching algorithm, the auction engine is trading down and trying to find new buyers. That means we are trading 32 at 120, 32 at 120, and I would like to buy 8 at 110. Does someone offer me 8 at 110? 8 at 110? 8 110? 32 at 120? Buy 5 at 120? Okay. So I have 27 to sell at 120. Is this a fair price for you? 120, 120, 27. Buy 20 at, but you have only $2,000, yes, you know. Okay, so we lifted the price again, and now look what happens here on the bid side. So we are trading 113, 120, 14 at 113. Is one willing to buy 14 contracts for 130, and I'm willing to buy at a lower price 120, 16 contracts, 16 contracts here at 120. And I'm selling 14 for 130. So is anyone willing to trade with me either on buy or offer side? I'm offering 14 130 and 16 120. No? Last call. Would you like to trade this one? Sell 10 at 120. Come on. Bart was the first one. That means we have 10 and 6. Angelic was the second one. That means we traded here 6 and 10 here. You see what happened here. It's nearly real time what you are experiencing here. Is that the price is not the price that who was it? And Bart and Angelic sweep the book. So the price dropped 2 price levels down because we had more to sell than the bidders were accepting to buy here on this side. And suddenly, I don't know who, I can't follow that, but Bart, Tom, George, some who bought at 120 here must hope that our buyers come back here to hit the bidders and to lift the price, come to break even. Because you are sitting at with your shares here around 120, 130. And let's do the last thing for this auction here is I'm offering 45 at 110, and I'm willing to buy 18 at 100, 18 at 100, 18 at 100, and I'm offering 45. Sorry. Okay. I'm offering 45 at 110 and I'm buying 18 at 100. Is anyone willing to sell something or to buy something? Again, 45 at 110 and 18. I'm ready to buy 18 at 100. So I'm bidding 18. I'm bidding 18 at 100. I'm bidding 18 at 100. 45 at 110. 45. Last call. Next level we are trading is 190 because there was no interest in this trading this level. So we are trading 36 at 100 and we are trading 12 at 90. That means I'm offering 36 at 100. Is someone willing to buy 36 at 100? And I want to buy 12 contracts at 90. So I'm willing to buy 90, I'm willing to buy 19, I'm willing to buy 90. Is anyone ready to sell something to me? I'm buying. I'm sitting here on the 90. No one? Last call. I'm ready. Oh, what was this? This was a little bit too fast for me. George, buy 18 at 100. 18, that means 18. What's wrong here? 18 at 100. Bart buys 10 at 100. Yeah, I will process your 20s at 100 because this is a good example. So we delete everything here and we have remaining, what was it? 36. So $18. This is the order from George, and we have 20 here. That means we have nothing here. We have 36 here and 2 trading 43 here. So now the price goes up and you see what happens here is because Bart lifted the price for one level and we are now trading 43 at 110 and I'm willing to buy 14 at 100. Do you see what I'm trying to point you to? It's not only the auction. This is the auction, very, very simple auction. So let's stop it here. That's okay. Maybe we can, if you want, we can repeat it again. Great. Okay, the market is closed. The session is closed. The last traded price was 100. This is our closed price for this session here. And if you have noticed your buys and sells, you can see what the result is. So who bought here at 120 is still sitting on the 120. Either you hold it overnight and hoping that the price is going up here tomorrow so that you can sell your contracts, or if you are unlucky, in an overnight session they will hit this weak bid side, this really weak bid side, and bring the price down, further down. So you are in big trouble here with your 120 and 130 positions. Question so far? What was your feeling? No one?
Walter, this is George. It was interesting when the bigger buyers came in on the top. side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know whether you have to deal with it or whether you must process this kind of trading, but you can do it by your own. That's not a big deal here. This is an Excel sheet. You can do it by your own and how to say, not play it with your family. I did it before I prepared this one with my family here. It was nobody understood what's going on here. Anyway, and what's this about? Because we are not used to auction here or to trade a price, like on the bazaar in Far East, for example. It's the same, absolutely the same. So you are negotiate the price of a product here. That's absolutely the same behavior. Either if you look at the bazaar, you will. It's the right word, bazaar. Yeah, of marketplace or whatever. It's the same behavior, and what we can learn here. Please think about it in few minutes. I would like to suggest to make a coffee break here for 10 minutes to grab a coffee and then to continue then. I would like also to use this time to discuss this a little bit more with you. It's quite simple, but maybe because I was now the auctioneer and who pushed or pressed you, who pushed you to buy or sell something, maybe you got a certain feeling for this kind of trading here. And I would like to continue after the coffee break, but there are several interesting parts we have to talk about this in this theoretical part, really theoretical part, because this you will see every day. It doesn't matter what you trade, whether you trade NQ or YM or CL or gold or soybeans or treasuries. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. Only the numbers are different here. That's the only, in the prices, of course. Prices, the numbers are different, but the mechanic is always the same. Maybe you have had time to think about this little game here, what we did. It was not professional. It was not, professional enough. But anyway, it gives us an example why it is important to watch the limit order book, as we will see during the next days. But I would like to discuss with you, why are we allowed to trade? What is the reason that we are allowed to trade? Yes, we have the access to every exchange on the world. What are you trading? And at least we should understand that trading is at the end a zero-sum game. He asked, when do I know when other buyers or sellers support my idea?
Exactly.
When do I know that? Because in order to be a buyer, I need, yes, a crowd behind me who is willing to buy. And on the other side, if I'm a seller, if I'm just looking the ES today, if I'm a seller, I need the crowd behind me. So to support my idea and to sell with me. That's an absolutely interesting question. Do we know the other? I'm writing down the questions here because they are quite interesting, or not quite, but they are very interesting. Do we know the other participants? Do we know them? And when? And what? The second one might be, what motivations? Well, this is really hard to answer. But when they are, yes, participating in the market or coming in the market. Can we answer the question during our trading day? What are the other participants? Do they support me, or do they not support me? That's the counter question. And do we know, when they are entering the market? And maybe about their motivations is really hard to say, but maybe we will talk about correlations. We will talk about news, for example, that might be trigger who drives the market up or down. The point is, we have to understand, and we will see that during this week. You will get a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, so you will need time to digest it. But we see in the book, for example, a so-called book imbalance. We will talk about. We have here more on the offer side, on the ask side here, 43.32, 14.23, than on the bid side. By that, you can judge, you can see what is really, by this book imbalance, you can see what is really happening. But let's given the market is a constant market. That means when we have more contracts, when we have more to sell and when we have less to buy, then the market is more likely to go down. It's valid for the opposite side. When we have a lot on the bid side and we have less on the limit side, then the market is likely to go up. So the market is always trading in the direction of the least resistance. So when the resistance here is less than the resistance here above, then the market is trying to push the market down until it reaches a certain level or even a certain liquidity level. But we will come to that back. That's the uncertainty comes, and I'm stressing it again. This uncertainty comes when you don't see what is really happening here, because you are only concentrating maybe on a candle chart, let's say on another chart, on the footprint, or even on the bookmap here. You are concentrating here on the bubbles, but you really don't see what is here, what is happening on the numeric side of the limit order book. So I would like to again stress again and motivate you. Let's start this week at least with this setup here. The uncertainty comes from because we have only one information here, and we can interpret a lot in this area here. But as long as we don't have additional information to this price part here, as long as we don't have any additional information, it's very hard to say it's down or up or whatever. You will see that liquidity plays an important game in our trading decisions. We want to find when to trade and where to trade. That's our goal for this week, to find the edges of trading for us. But you see what I mean, Angelic, and therefore I think you have the same setup. But if you have only one information, it's really hard to rely on this single information here. So we need additional information of the live market, of the real market, of the now, not based on the past, based on the exactly the same moment now. We need this information, and then we can combine both informations and make our decisions then. Why are we allowed to trade? My answer is we are allowed to trade because most of us are so-called liquidity provider. You see here an account. It was burned down from 62. I'm not sure whether this is dollars or euros, but doesn't matter. It was burned down in a half a year from 62 to 400 euros, for example. This is impressive, guys. This is impressive. This is only a small trader, little trader. That's nothing here. That's a real account. It was at least it wasn't a real account here. We are allowed to trade, and please think everything every day before when you're thinking about trading. We are allowed to trade because we are liquidity providers. That's an important point, and because we won't be liquidity providers. Because we won't be liquidity providers, we are together here this week to see that other alternatives, other views on the market could help us to take liquidity instead to provide liquidity. As said, trading is a zero-sum game, and statistically, I don't know whether it's 96 or 98, but the number is huge, where we see that retail traders are losing their money within months, sometimes within weeks, because they don't understand that, because they don't see how an auction is working, what is really happening, because they don't see the whole information. Absolutely. That's an absolutely important part. And even you will see that, and I experience it too, even if you see every information, sometimes it's the own psychology who is a little bit reluctant to press the button. This is another part of the education we have to go through, but we are talking in this week only about the mechanic, the market mechanic, and the strategies around. And that's the reason, guys. We want to be winner and not losers. So let's go briefly to the limit order book. Let's sum it up what we have learned, and this is the foundation of the next days. The limit order book is the foundation of the next days, and we have to understand what is really going on in the limit order book. For those of you who are really new to this kind of information, it will take some time, but you will, after this seminar, will be very, very quickly in the position to understand what's behind. A limit order book. The limit order, it's very clear what it is. It is a fixed order. It is the wish to trade at a limit price. A limit order may be executed very quickly if it corresponds to the best bid offer price. A limit order may take a long time if the market price moves away from the requested price. The requested price is too far, and the limit order at the higher levels can be cancelled. That means, very simply, if you are trading, I think one of you bought 130, 120 here, and suddenly price dropped down because this level was vulnerable, or yes, more vulnerable than this level here. And then you are sitting, maybe you're placing also a limit order here and waiting until you will get hit, for example. That means if the price moves down, someone or you or whoever who is trading limit order side, you are sitting here and waiting, and the price moves, never touch this level here. So either you have to cancel it, or you wait until you get a match. This is a limit order book is very briefly say bookkeeping for every single trade. Limit order book terminology. The market order is absolutely important. You have been the market order. This you can remember this very easily. You have been the market orders here. We played only one direction here, just to see how this whole mechanic works. Traders can put a market order, that for a buy order or sell order. The first shares will be traded at the ask price or the best price. The remaining ones will be traded some ticks upper in order to fill the order size. The ask price is then modified accordingly. That's what we did here, very slowly to calculate the traded numbers. But it's okay to do this now and then, so to understand the whole mechanic. When either the bid or ask queue is depleted by market orders or cancellations, the price is updated up or down to the next level of the order book. And this up and down depends on the matching engine. That's a program. So it's a programmed, yes, as an algorithm at the CME. If there is no bid at this level, for example, there's no bid, and suddenly one hits the bid here, then they are traded here. And when they eat every 14, for example, then the price follows down or goes down. Cancellation. Trader can put a cancellation of X orders in a given queue reduced by the size. Let me show you again where we are here. Now we are talking about that. So when either the bid or ask queue is depleted by market orders and cancellations, the price moves up or down to the next level of the order book. So to answer your question, George, again, if we are talking about cancellations, then we are talking about cancellations on bid or ask. Cancellations are a part of the strategy. Given you are, yeah.
Is there a way, Walter, to see that happen? For instance, I know in the delta quotes, those are limit orders. So we're not seeing. Is it possible to see them pull the market orders?
Yes, it is, but it's not very clear in the limit order book, because the limit order book is extremely fast, so we don't see them. But you will see in bookmap the cancellation of orders. It's absolutely obvious to see that in the bookmap how they cancel. You can if you are trading only, for example, with Jigsaw and nothing else, then you will see also, you can see the cancellations, but it's so fast. Especially the best way to watch it is to trade the treasuries, for example, the 30-year, 10-year, and 5-year. Then you can sit in front of your Jigsaw trader or bookmap, for example, better one bookmap, and watch the numbers. You can go for coffee and then come back, and then you will see they have bought or they haven't bought anything. So if you want really to learn and to see cancellations of liquidity in the order book, then I recommend to go to the treasuries. You will see that you have enough time to understand what's going on there. It's very, very hard for thin instruments like 6E or what do we have, CL and Q, for example. It's extremely hard because the liquidity displayed on both sides here is so thin that one contract of 20 contracts sweeps through the whole to all prices here. So we are talking about thin and thick liquid markets. We come back to that. But cancellations is depleted by market orders and cancellations. That means it was a simple one, but whilst you are trading with this guy here, some other guy might cancel. And the numbers from 43 and down. And therefore, we have the quotes delta. We have the quotes delta here to get a clue what the market is doing right about here. Okay. Sorry. Now, as we did it, the dynamic in the limit order book is that actual trades come in two forms. You can put a limit order or you can put a market order. So market order usually, if you don't use any chasing algorithm or similar, market orders will be executed immediately if the queue is there. That means we will talk about the CME and the FIFO in a moment. So if the queue is there, you will get a fill immediately. That means on the limit side. If you trade it on the price in the market, you will get the fill immediately. So there's a difference. I don't know whether I expressed this well. So if you are in the limit order, it depends on the queue where you are to be executed. Or if you put your order market, then it will be executed at the best price. Yes, trader can cancel anyway, at any time. When either the bid or ask queue is depleted by market orders and cancellation, the price moves up or down to the next level of the order book. And even this one is described in the CME. Let's have a look there. Okay, so this is the page. Maybe you are interested. Let's have a look at this short video. It is only 1-2 minutes of, yes, 4 minutes here. We will get a brief overlook about the matching algorithm, and then we will have a really brief overlook and explanation of FIFO. Absolutely interesting to keep in mind. I'm not.
Welcome.
Can you hear my?
This video provides an overview of each matching algorithm.
Can you hear my screen?
Supported on the CME Globex platform. A matching algorithm is logic that determines the allocation of matching orders and is designed to ensure that each market participant is given the best possible execution at the fairest price. This video includes a description and example of each of the following matching algorithms: FIFO, or first in, first out; FIFO with LMM, or lead market maker; pro rata; configurable; threshold pro rata with LMM; and allocation. This demonstration provides a basic example of each trade matching algorithm available on the CME Globex platform. Each example depicts a matching scenario using the pricing convention for the given product. The algorithm applied per product, allocation percentage, maximum, minimum, and all other allocation parameters are configurable at the sole discretion of the Global Command Center. Contact the GCC for additional details. The algorithm applied for a given product is determined by the exchange and shown in the CME Globex product reference sheet. Each product shows the applied algorithm and, where applicable, other elements that affect allocation, including top order allocation, FIFO percentages, pro rata percentages, minimum pro rata allocation, and how to address any remaining quantities. These are explained further in the examples.
Okay, the last one I want just to show here, FIFO.
FIFO stands for first in, first out. As the name implies, FIFO allocates by best price and earliest time on the order book. This example uses the E-mini S&P 500 futures contract, which uses the FIFO matching algorithm. An aggressive buy limit order for 100 arrives. The best matching price on the central order book is 20.41.25. Let's expand this price level to show the participants of its resting 150 quantity. In a FIFO market, the resting orders are filled by time rank, or the sequence in which they entered the book. In this example, ABC was first in and will therefore be first out or filled. Resting orders for firm ABC and XYZ match fully. Firm KLM matches partially, which leaves their non-matched quantity of 5 resting on the book. Note, in a FIFO market, a resting order loses time rank priority and is requeued when modified in any of the following ways: quantity increase, price change, or account number change.
Okay. So if you want to know about the matching algorithm, how CME is organized, then please use this link, or you use the link above to go a little bit deeper into it, because we are trading on the CME and we are trading ES future, for example. The FIFO algorithm is important for us to understand, and what it means if you don't get a fill, for example, why we are waiting, because the queue wasn't matched, we have not enough buyers or sellers, for example, or we are the last in the queue. So we didn't get in the fill, so we have to chase the price, for example. The limit order book is electronical today, but we have to take care about, because it is the costs-free, wonderful solution and additional information source that we can use to improve our trading. What I wanted to say is simply that people make markets. It's obvious, but we have to remember that, I think, not charts and indicators, even in this age of electronic trading, people are not computers or still make the final decision. People don't make the final decision to sell or to buy from stocks and bonds and so on. The market, after all, is a collection of people buying and selling. So you and I and we all together, we are trading against, let me see, another guy, another person. At the end, it's very clear, either he wins or we win. That's quite obvious. The broker wins every time, that's okay. But the question is either he or me in this game. And there's a saying, no, it's not a saying, it's a Latin saying, cui bono, maybe you know that. To whom is it a benefit? Cui bono. It means it's the kind of motivation why I'm doing that. I think few well-informed people know that and yeah, maybe make their fortune out of the information they got. So think about cui bono, to whom is it a benefit when I'm trading? Do I have followers, as Bart said? Do I have followers who support my move or not? Yes, because trading always needs two parties, that's obvious. We have to go through it, and we have to understand that we must be better than the average retail trader. And I'm sure we will when we understand the limit order book and bookmap a little bit better. Following, price, time and volume is the trinity of every market, of every trader's price, time and volume. We will have a look at price, and sure, we will have a look at time. Time is an real-time, not lagging indicator, which is on every chart, and it's free. Guys, it's free. As well, the price is not free because we need, and volume, it's not free because we need good data feed, but time it's free, and it is an amazing indicator when you look at a market even in time. And that's I think one of the advantages of bookmap, because it shows, let me find it again. It shows the time, we don't have any, it shows how the market evolves, developed over the time here. You see that? And it's so important to understand the time. The x-axis here on this line, you will see that, okay? So there are real-time indicators. Maybe we are not used to use them, but we will use them here in this seminar. Okay, great. We are coming now to market mechanics. Again, a little bit expanded what's around the limit order book. I would like to ask you now to come back to me and say, okay, this is the first part of the seminar. It's not over, but I would like to set the foundation. Even we are not going so deep. And if you want to make an auction again, we can do it tomorrow, for example, just for fun. It's absolutely important to understand it. Market mechanics, basic terminology. We talked about the limit order book. We have to have a look about around the other explanations and the terminology we need maybe from now and then to remember to talk about, because we have, from my point of view, we have to understand the terms and definitions of market makers, matching engine, aggressor, and passive trader before we go deeper into the market mechanics and impacts on our trading. So we are now talking about the market maker. These were special market participants which are legally obliged, or who are legally obliged to maintain a fair and orderly market in exchange for some special privileges. So there are, in former times, market makers are obliged to provide liquidity. To achieve their goals, market makers perform two tasks: quoting and clearing. That's what our broker companies today are doing. At least in the forex market, they are also quoting, but quoting is the exchange and clearing is the broker. But they had initially following tasks. At all times, a market maker must provide a bid price with a corresponding bid volume and an ask price with a corresponding ask volume. As long as they say as they are, or as long as they are not modified by the market maker, these quotes are binding or have been binding. In the sense that the market maker must execute any incoming sell order with volume less than or equal to volume at a price, and any incoming buy order with volume less than or equal to price has to be quoted. Clearing means once buyers and sellers have submitted orders that specify a price and a volume, the market maker decides on a price that makes the numbers of unsatisfied orders as small as possible. Satisfied orders are cleared. That means clearing. That's what the electronic part of the CME is doing. Is they are matching the orders FIFO at least, for example, for the futures, for the CME futures. So this electronic market are, in former times, market makers, is responsible for the queuing and for the dequeuing of the orders. So they have the task to remain unsatisfied orders as small as possible. Satisfied orders are cancelled. Again, please write it down. Please keep it in mind. We will come tomorrow or on Wednesday to an extremely important part, liquidity. Please keep in mind, satisfied orders are cleared. So when the matching engine matches incoming market and limit orders, they are cleared. That means they disappear from the market. Given you and George are trading, so if he is selling something to me, then I'm satisfied and he is satisfied. So every one of us are going back. So we are, how to say it, not disappear, but we disappear from the market, and next one is trading then.
Yeah, when the market maker comes in, are they putting in both limit and market, or just limit?
They put the on the limit. The liquidity is always on the limit sides.
Oh, yes. Okay, great.
So the liquidity is always on the limit sides. But that means when a market maker, given I don't know, maybe, yes, when you live in Chicago, you are on the CME, and given you coming in through this door into the pit, and you are the one who provides liquidity only on the limit price. So you are obliged, as said, liquidity, because liquidity sits only on the limit sides. Remember that one? So I was the market maker. Here, I provided liquidity at 43 at 110 and provided liquidity at 100. That's not true in reality. Okay, that you know what, but you know the principle. So I'm providing 43 at 110 and 14 at 100. That's my task. I have some privileges. about trading, I'm participating, I have no costs, and so on and so on and so on. But I have to provide this liquidity, and that means market maker are always providing market liquidity. And by the way, colleagues, that means you and I are market makers. So as long as you sit here on the limit side with your contracts, you are liquidity provider. You are market maker. Also professional market makers who are sitting there and trading with thousands of contracts, thousands of lots. They have risk too. They may be hit in the wrong moment and they are losing money. So they are quite experienced, but if something happens, unusual happens in the market, they can be hit too. So they have also not only quoting or clearing, but they also have also how to say vulnerable, you know, they can lose money too. Yes, the market maker quotes play the role of signaling a sensible price to the whole market and thereby help other market participants to coordinate around a reasonable price. Please remember too, a market maker quotes play the role of signaling a sensible price to the whole market. Again, let's take this, our example here. I'm signaling by adding to the ask or adding to the bid side. I'm signaling what I intend to do. So, you know, what I'm aiming at the moment is following. What I'm aiming at the moment is to say that are signaling here on both sides, ask and bid, signaling ask and bid, what they intend to do. They don't know, and that's the risk of trading, what is happening here in the market arena here. Who is coming by? Who is walking by this one and wants to trade him? That's the risk. Therefore, you have to be extremely fast. Sometimes. Market makers' quotes play the role of signaling a sensible price to the whole market. They are doing it by liquidity, for example. They want to be hit here at 160, for example. Or they want to be hit here. Or they want to push the price up. Or they want to push the price down like I did here. You look here, 43 is still. You need 43 contracts. And here you need only 14 contracts.
That makes perfect sense to me now, Walter, when you, as you said here, there's more liquidity to the top, less to the bottom. So in essence, the market makers are saying that price is maybe overbought.
Yes.
It's up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And let's compare this one again with this one. Let's watch this one here. So the market makers, look here, look at this one here. Come on. Here, for example, this area. I mean, we don't have market makers like on the pit. So you can be a market maker here, but you know, to consume 1,000 contracts here, to consume 1,000 contracts at 750 here, it takes a lot. I suppose that's not us here. We five are nothing here, not so big for the market, but given there's a big institution behind, let's say there's an institution behind this one. They have, you remember this Latin word or Latin saying, cui bono? Cui bono, to whom is it a concern? What they wanted here? Why are they buying 750? Why did they consume everything on 750 here? What is the reason for them? Should I go against them? This power here, when I recognize it, when I know it? Or should I go with them? That's the point. So you can be a market maker. You are, or we are, a liquidity provider every time we place a contract here on the limit side, given you are not trading market, given you are trading limit. When we position one here, or put one here, then this date will be updated to 59 here, this example, for example. And we are waiting to be hit at 575 here. So either we are going limit here, then if we put one contract to the 975, then this goes up to 278. You will see your contract maybe in the queue on the last position, but you will see that here. You will see your contract here trading or sitting on 975. So that is important to know. We will stress it again. We can see it here. We see something unusual happened here. We can have a brief look in this one and get the connections between those both worlds. Market makers are called liquidity providers. Other traders are called liquidity takers. It's simple but important to know. In a market where all trade is facilitated by these designated market makers, the participants, you and I, can be parted or partitioned into one or two categories. The market makers who offer trading opportunities to the rest of the market, and the other traders who have the opportunity to accept them. Traditionally, these categories are named to reflect their members' contribution to the flow of liquidity. Market makers are called liquidity providers, and others, traders, aggressors, are called liquidity takers. So you can be both. You can be a liquidity providers sitting on the limit side, or you can be a liquidity taker, executing market orders. Immediately get hit on the market order. The same point you will find here: aggressors and passive trader. If you are going market, you will be known as aggressor. This is unusual, but it seems to be an normal expression for market buyers. That means aggressors are traders who consume liquidity from markets. That means that aggressors are buying or selling at a current price. Other traders are passive because they provide liquidity to the markets by placing bids and offers that may not be filled or executed immediately. Yes, and it's obvious. Either these are humans, or they can be computers running any algorithm or some automated algorithm trading programs, for example. So we are facing a market who is mostly dominated by automatic trading. For example, to answer the question, what is a sweep and why happens a sweep? What leaves a sweep behind? Absolutely important question we will discuss later in 2 or 3 days. So the aggressors are responsible for volatility. What is happening here when volatility comes up? Not the limit traders are responsible for the volatility because they are sitting there leaning back and waiting. That's the picture they are painting to me. In today's electronic markets, trader can be human or they can be automatic algorithmic trading programs, of course. That's absolutely common. Aggressors are responsible for this volatility. If you look at oil, for example, or other thinner markets, it's extremely crazy to follow that. This price moves. Yes, they can move the price up and down as they want, as they really want. One presses the button and oil explodes up and down. You can't look so fast. One interesting point is here following. If there is no volatility in the market, there is no interest in trading. You remember the time factor? Absolutely. It means nothing. It costs nothing, but it means a lot. I will show you another example. We'll see a lot of examples. So don't worry, but just to undermine what I'm saying, why is this taking so long here? Look here. Look here what is forming here. What I want to say. There's a lot, I don't know how long. Look here, this long. This long. There's no volatility here. Either the market is dead or something is brewing here. Something is happening here. There's no volatility at this trading. Don't want to explain it a little bit further, but anyway. So if there's no volatility in the market, there's no interest in trading. If there's enough or high volatility, then be sure that there are aggressors who chase the price up and down. This will be our daily observation. If there's no volatility in the market, lean back, go for a walk, do sport or whatever you want to do. It happens during the night sometimes, or also during the day when the market is waiting for information, for example. It can last 2, 3, 4 hours, no problem with ES. If there's enough or high volatility, then be sure that the aggressors, the active traders, will chase the price up and down. It depends on the liquidity on both sides. If this is a thin market or thick market, there are differences. So it depends really on the market. If the price is jumping like crazy, see oil and other thin instruments, or if it takes some time to evolve and show what is really happening there. Okay, aggressive, passive traders. One point I would like to discuss with you and then show you, maybe you're also thinking about it, is following. We are talking about uninformed and informed trader, and extremely important. You will hopefully understand on Friday why you are an uninformed trader. Because most attempts at explaining why market participants trade distinguish between two different types of activity. For example, informed traders are attributed to sophisticated traders with information about the future price of an asset, which these traders buy or sell or eke out of profit. These are informed traders. These are sophisticated traders with information about the future price of an asset, of the market, for example, to get out profit out of it. Uninformed traders are attributed either to unsophisticated traders with no access to, or even, and that's important, to inability to correctly process the information. The inability to correctly process the market. The information, The information, auto liquidity trades, and so on. The trades triggered by a need for immediate cash, a need to reduce portfolio, and so on. These trades are often called noise trades because from an outside perspective they seem to occur at random. They do not correlate with future price changes and they are not profitable on average. Anyway, in most cases, however, this seemingly intuitive partitioning of trades are as informed or uninformed. This dividing of both classes of informed and uninformed trades suffers from one problem. And information is sometimes difficult to measure. What means information? What I want to say with that is that there is a difference between to be informed, not only what the asset is, what the market is, how the market trades, or to be uninformed, to leave it or to put the responsibility to the chart, to the indicator, to the automatic strategy, whatever. Really, the situation today is, as I see, that a lot of people, and that's what when I've quoted Kahneman is saying, we are relying on easy to digest information. We are relied to get, to understand, to see really easy to digest information. We live in a complex world, and in trading it's really common to be feeded by trading rooms, by others who is telling us what the indicator is saying, up or down or whatever, doesn't matter. That's the difference between informed and uninformed trader. We want to be informed about the market, about the information we're getting. Therefore, I suggested to have a look at the data center or data center app on the Ecofin. You will be informed in a second when something happens, and there are certainly other services around trading who feed you with needed and important information. The matching engine or the auctioneer, we have seen that in our video before, enables electronic trading based on defined fixed rules. That's the matching engine. Matches two parties which want to trade. Matching engine is always fair. There's no human behind. And we talked about FIFO, first in, first out. The other you can see when you're following this site. Put a site also in the chat. The matching will have every time to do with a matching engine. Without the matching engine, nothing rules, nothing happens. Yes, and the matching engine's task is whenever a trader submits a buy or sell order, a limit book, order book trades matching algorithm checks whether it is possible to match to existing sell or buy orders. If so, the matching occurs immediately as the relevant traders perform a trade for the agreed amount at the agreed price. Any portion of the order that does not match instead becomes active at the price, and it remains active until either it matches to an incoming sell or buy order, or it is cancelled, of course. Cancellation usually occurs when the owner of an order no longer wishes to offer a trade at a stated price. That's the cancellation we talked about a little bit earlier about the cancellation. So a matching engine always matches two parties. If you are buying or if you are selling, you have to have a counterpart. Either this is a colleague from I don't know, China or Europe, or this is another one. You don't never know who is behind that, but you are trading with an engine or maybe even with people. So the matching engine, we will see and talk about that very intensively, because it is absolutely important to understand what a matching engine is doing. Let's show how it works. It's easy to understand how it works. There are 12 contracts. One is bought and one is sold into these 15 contracts. These are the organization is, this is the green is best bid and red is best offer. We find, so green is best bid and red is best offer. And the contracts are indicated either by numbers, or you will see in bookmap like bullets here or dots. And you will see in the limit order book exactly what is traded. That's the expression in bookmap. You know that that's the best offer and it's the best bid. And when you are going zoom totally in, when you zoom totally in, it is absolutely interesting to see what is really trading at what price, or which price, and what is exactly amount the volume. It's not, I didn't present it here, but when you go on the dot, you will see the traded volume, and you will see when it is traded. So we are talking about time, volume, and price. So this is, you see the best bid, best offer, and sometimes you see very regular dots. You see sometimes an algorithm is firing here to bring the price up. So for theoretical discussion, this view is extremely helpful and good to know what's behind. But this is the visualization of the limit order book here. This is the same what you see here, absolutely the same. Only the presentation is totally different. I have a little bit fun for you. Great, guys, we had an interesting day today. I would like to go back to the part 1 and part 2, the auction, the limit order book, the expressions and the terminology we need to understand really what is going on here, what is happening here. We have to understand what this is about, how to bring these worlds together, the visual world with a numerical world. This is the task for this week, but the foundation of understanding what is going on here is in this part. I'm happy to be with you and hear you tomorrow. Thank you very much.